Good morning, everybody. I am happy to be here on Sunday morning and give you some highlights of the I Am Fabulous workshop that Patty Bayless and I attended yesterday in Tampa. I think there's another one coming up in San Diego in just a few weeks. I'll have to double check the date on that. I know I've posted it here before. But if you can get to that one in San Diego, I highly recommend it. And if she posts any more, I really highly recommend going to them because they're really amazing. She takes you through a little bit of how she created this book, I Am Fabulous. And then she walks you through how to be better on this planet, because so many of us are walking around with other people's baggage and we don't even realize it. And we feel overwhelmed, or we feel exhausted, or we have things showing up in our lives that we're not sure how it even got here. So she talks about clearing the space and clearing how you feel and doing it in a way using your oils. Now, her story is pretty amazing, and she talks about that. And I won't get into it, but she comes from a very Christian background. So even though this seems very metaphysical to some of you, and she comes from a very Christian background, but it is a very metaphysical thing, very Holy Spirit oriented. So even if you aren't Christian or you are Christian, it will work, and it does affect your body on a physical level. So I'm going to take you through one little exercise, and feel free to do this. Feel free to take notes. I'll try and take some pictures later. We're going to go eat some lunch here in a few minutes because the gang is getting a little hungry. But I'm going to take you through the first 4 steps that she did with us in the workshop, because I feel it's very powerful, and you can open up a lot of things in yourself just by doing this. When I did it yesterday at the course, I had kind of a shift in myself. I can't really explain how it worked. I know Patty felt very different when she did it, and she had a physical response. I had a very physical response, and then we did it on the kids today, and I'll talk about that at the end, because it was relatively amazing in front of my husband's eyes with our oldest daughter. So first off, I'm going to talk about energetic hooks. As we go out in life, you get hooked to other people, and unfortunately, you're getting some energy from me just by watching this, but hopefully you're going to build a boundary where you can take the information in and have a healthy boundary from it. But you get hooked to people, and you'll see that maybe you can understand this when I explain it this way. If you've had a conversation with somebody on the phone, or a text conversation, or even a Facebook interaction with somebody, and at the end of it, you're like, I feel exhausted, because they've hooked into you and tried to take all your energy out. That is an energy hook, and everything is energy. Emotions are energy in motion. So those energy hooks stay with you. You stay hooked to people until you can kind of unhook from them. And it's not as easy as just, hey, I'm done with you. Because if you have an emotional response when you think of that person, you have an energy hook in you. I kind of had a visual when she was explaining it as, kind of like fish hooks, or even like from Harry Potter, like the Dementors when they come and take you and energy suck from you. So that was my visual. I don't know what Patty's was, but she gave us a way to some of the things that you will experience physically if you have a lot of energy hooks from other people. You'll have a lot of colds and flus. You'll have maybe fibromyalgia. You'll have immune suppressed issues, chest tightness, digestive issues, a lot of overwhelm, a lot of anxiety, chronic worry. You'll age faster than other people around you. You'll feel you enable a lot of people. And you'll have a lot of sugar cravings and food cravings from that because it's taking a toll on your body and you're trying to replenish your body from what they're taking out of it. So, having boundaries is not a bad thing, and we're going to talk about how to build boundaries. So, let's talk about how to unhook from other people. Now, when I say unhook from other people, I'm not saying that you're going to just be like, I'm done with you and we're not going to be friends anymore. I'm not saying that. You're just energetically unhooking from people so that you can build a healthy boundary and have, your space. Let's think of it in this term. You have your own house. You want your own furniture in it. And somebody comes along and says, hey, I can't fit all my furniture in my house. I'm going to put it in your house. And you just say, okay, yeah, sure, I don't have room for it, but yeah, let me put all your stuff in my stuff together. It just does, you wouldn't do that, but energetically we do that all the time, okay? So let's do the protocol, and like I said, I'll take pictures and put this all down, but get your pen and paper out because you want to clear the space. So, Melaleuca is a powerful energy disruptor. Who knew? Who knew Melaleuca? I always thought it was just for antifungal. So Melaleuca, you can use it either in the touch or you can use it in the straight neat bottles, like these bottles. So I pulled out the touch this morning to use on the kids, and you go up and down the spine, 2 to 3 drops if you're using the straight neat version, up and down the spine a couple times, rub it in. Oregano on the solar plexus. If you don't know where the solar plexus is, it's kind of like right underneath your bra strap or right in the center of your belly. 1 drop or roll the touch. I do suggest coconut oil when you use this one because it's going to be hot. So dilute the oregano or use your touch version. It's perfect for it. What Melaleuca does is it gets rid of most of your hooks because most of your hooks aren't really hardcore in there. Oregano takes care of the big ones like your mom, your family, all those ones that you have had forever and ever and ever. And then you're going to do 1 drop of lemongrass and you're going to rub it in the top of your head. And then you're going to do frankincense right on your 3rd eye. And that clears the space. That clears those hooks from you. You're released from those people so that you can be free from their baggage. You basically unpacked their baggage off of you. So now you want to remove those saboteurs from your life. And again, I'm not saying you're kicking them out of your life, you're just kicking them out of your space. So to do that, you're going to take either 1 drop of lemongrass or 1 drop of black pepper, and you're going to rub it 1 drop here, 1 drop here, and you rub it on the shoulders. Now pick one or the other, whichever one you prefer or whichever one you have, rub it on your shoulders. And then you're going to take either deep blue, and I didn't grab wintergreen, or wintergreen, and you're going to go up the back of the neck, or again on the solar plexus. And that helps to remove anybody that's trying to sabotage your life. So if you're out looking for goals, out setting goals, and you have people that, hey, I've got this new diet goal, and they bring you brownies all the time, this makes them think, hey, I just won't go do that to her anymore, or him. They'll just stop. Because the energy is out there and they're just not going to try and trip you up anymore. And then finally, many times with people who maybe have really bad mental issues, very severe anxiety, PTSD, Alzheimer's, dementia, those type of things, what she was saying in Chinese medicine, that is believed to be somewhat of a spiritual, like a spirit has connected onto that person in a very negative way. Now, I hope I haven't lost some of you who have a very Christian mindset and think, no. We're not talking about an exorcism here, okay? We're talking about, it can be very mild. You know, just somebody who's trying to come in and influence you to think a little differently. It can show up in many different ways, and I took some notes on this one. It can show up that you're just numb to everything. You have a numbness. You sit and scroll on Facebook for just hours and hours and hours, or you're binge watching TV instead of talking to people in your world. You have massive, massive salt and sugar cravings. You are constantly eating to try and numb whatever it is inside you, because it's not you, it's something else in you. So if you're trying to get rid of those attachments, you're going to do this. And I actually think that everybody should do this, because you just never know what could have popped on. You don't know what you're out in the world doing. And I'm not saying everybody's demonically attached to something. I know this sounds a little crazy, but just follow me on this. Try this and see how you feel, because if you've said anything like, said anything and you think, oh, that's just crazy, that doesn't sound like me, maybe it's just not, But if you've got somebody suffering from PTSD or any really major mental issue, try this on them and see if it helps them at all, okay? People talking to themselves, people hearing voices, that's their reality. It's not, you can't make fun of them, you can't be harsh with them. That's their reality. It's not your reality, because you're in a very different spot. It's their reality. So you need to be kind, and you need to support them, and you need to help them. And here's one way you can do it, okay? So you're going to take that oregano. Oregano is very, very powerful, okay? Again, I suggest the touch because it's diluted. And you're going to rub it right on the top of your head. 1 drop. You're going to take 1 drop of lemongrass on each foot, and you're going to rub it on the soles of your feet. Rub it in. Lemongrass clears a lot of things. Lemongrass is a powerful, powerful cleanser for the body, if you didn't know that, okay? And then helichrysum. It's like liquid Band-Aid. So it seals up cuts and scrapes and wounds and things like that. Well, it also seals up the soul. So if you've ever had anybody that's come and attacked you in a social setting and you don't know why, helichrysum is one that will help heal those wounds. So helichrysum, you're going to apply to the third eye. You can also use frankincense, because that's another powerful one. So if you don't have helichrysum, you can use frankincense right here, 1 drop. But she said helichrysum is a much, much more powerful oil for this. So try that out, because those will help clear that space and help clear that person and clear you so that you can be and show up better on the planet. But you have to build strong boundaries with the world, because once you've done this, you need to make sure that you are now putting that boundary out there for yourself so that you don't go back to your old ways. Because once you've cleaned up the house, cleaned up your house, you don't want to just leave the door open for everybody to come back in and dump their stuff, right? So you have to build boundaries, and there's 2 ways that she suggested doing it. You only have to do that first protocol 1 time, okay? It's a one-time deal. But then this one, these 2, you have the 2 options. You have to do them for a few days or a few weeks. The first one you can choose from is you can do oregano and melaleuca, 1 drop down the middle of your stomach, basically on your solar plexus for 3 weeks, 1 drop of each. So if you've got the touch, you can do them via just up and down, or the melaleuca up and down, those 2 for 3 weeks, okay? Or you can do a drop of Pedigrane for 2 weeks, up and down the same spot. Now, I watched a video that she had done where she combined Melaleuca and Pedigrane together. And she said if you're going into a situation where you feel like you're going to be vulnerable, use those two. And I will tell you, I used them and it was incredible how I allowed some very nasty comments made to my face about how I looked that night to bounce right off of me. And that's actually not very typical of me. I usually internalize them. I make them a very big hurt, and then I am very upset about them, even though I put on this face all the time. But I let them eat away inside of me. But this time, I let it bounce off of me, and I was like, no, I do look nice, and you're not being very nice, which was shocking to me. So I really do think that the boundaries were set up and worked that night. But talking about how this blend has worked today, we used it on all the kids. You know, Russ did this protocol last night when I got home, and you know, he thought, well, I feel better. But the kids were, we did it on the kids because, you know, they fight a lot. They push each other's buttons. And, you know, we didn't see a huge change in Andrew. We saw Amelia calm a little bit down from her normal kind of throw yourself around and act a little bit crazy self. But the biggest change we saw was in our oldest daughter, who she has made actually some comments along the way in her life that have actually disturbed me about, you just want to kill me and you don't love me, and things that have bothered me quite a lot, that I thought, where on earth does this come from this kid? Because it really shouldn't be coming out of her. It's, you know, I've often said to myself, is this kid possessed? You know, what has happened to her that she feels this way? But after taking this class yesterday, I thought, well, maybe there's something attached to her that maybe I can get rid of. So we did this protocol on her, and as we did it, she's not sensitive to the oils at all. You know, I can slap on pretty much any oil on her, and she's never had a problem. But these series of oils today, she's like, this is burning, this is hurting, this. I don't like this. You are, you know, and she was throwing a fit. And at the end, she looked at me and she goes, I just went from feeling like I had New York City chaos in my head to feeling like I have a garden growing in my head. I feel so much better. I don't know what just left me, but I feel so much better. Do you want to play goldfish, Mommy? And it was like an amazing light switch that went off in my kid, that she doesn't feel chaotic and like something's in her head to terrorize her. So I really encourage you to try this. I really do. We all have a little bit of demons in ourselves that beat ourselves up. And I think if you try it and you can clear, you know, even just one, you're going to show up better on the planet. So I know this video was a little bit long today, but I feel this is a pretty important topic. So I thank you for joining. I thank you for listening to this, and I hope that you try this blend if you are this protocol, and I hope that it helps you. If it does, please let us know how it's helped. Share with everybody on here. That's why this page is called Share Essentially Savannah. It's not for me to share with you. It's for all of us to share together and be a community who lifts each other up, because that's how we make the planet better. So I hope you have a great day. We're going to go get some lunch, and thanks again for being on our page. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.